Well. Hello there. How's it going?
Welcome back. It has
A
been
new
it's been a good amount of
episode.
time. Yeah, it's been a good amount of time, a few
Long
weeks
time.
at
Yeah, I
least.
guess we should like pretend to consider this like we took a break and this is season 2.
I
But
mean, yeah,
we
honestly,
didn't
we probably
exactly do
should. I mean,
that.
listen, I was talking to people in Israel about, oh, you guys are going to be doing the podcast here in person. First of all, it's a little bit hard because now we're on the same time schedule. So Sheldon is working during the days. He's an hour away. It's harder to come at night. You can just pick up and move. So it's probably harder to do it there than it is to do it when we're in our regular schedules.
Even though you literally fell asleep before filming this episode, and I'm like, text me for an hour. You're like, I'm just gonna shower. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Next thing I'm like, did he die? Did he slip in the shower and crack his head
I
open?
napped for like an hour and took it. I needed to take a
I'm only
reset.
like 7 hours ahead and literally worked a full day, which is why I look like shiznit at the moment for anyone who's watching. And he passes on the couch.
Everyone was wondering.
Yeah.
No, but we were in Israel for like 5.5 weeks. It was really nice. We were able to do one episode there at least, though.
Yeah, at least we did that.
It was
That
still
was
remote.
nice.
It was still you were still at home, and I was.
Yeah, it's because I'm in Tel Aviv, right? You know,
we were still able to get it done. But what?
Mm-hmm. So you could have schlepped out to Tel Aviv.
True.
Next time. You know.
But there's a few interesting stories we wanted to discuss. The first one, Sheldon mentioned recently, just on the fly as we were talking before we started recording, that there was some guy who's suing the Olive Garden because he says he found a rat foot in his minestrone. So I was looking into that a little bit. Pretty crazy. I feel like it's one of those stories where he probably just threw it in.
For sure, threw it in. For sure.
You know, and he's not providing the foot.
That too. Like, it's like, I was already
Provide
like...
the foot.
Right. Why wouldn't you? They want to test it. They're the ones that want to do, like, we'll look into it. They don't want to hand it over. Like, you know, things have happened in the past. First of all, there was that woman who literally took her friend's severed finger and put it in her chili. I think it was like at a Wendy's or something, and tried suing them, and that turned out to be fake. You know, there have been instances where people really had things that were gross and shouldn't have been there. But like, you know, if somehow like a restaurant was infested with mice or something and a mouse fell and somehow was really small, okay, but like a severed rat's foot, like someone would have had to chop it off and directly put it in. But like, it wasn't even like, it didn't absorb any of the color of the minestrone soup, like, which is like a reddish tone. So like, it was for sure placed in there, and they're not giving it for testing. So it's like
Sherlock Holmes over here on the case.
You know what?
I just think about the fact that this guy, I mean, this is a plant.
He put it in his mouth, though, regardless.
If he did. Yeah,
he put it in his mouth.
I mean, he said he put it in his
claw
mouth.
And all. No, I can't even.
So we don't know if that's true. We're talking about a guy who might have put a fake foot in a soup. We don't know that he actually
if you're willing
he just said he did.
to do that, I guess you take it all the way.
Right.
If you're going to do it, you might as well go all the way if you think you're getting that. I think he was only suing for like $75,000 also.
$25,000 in damages.
What is that? You're supposed to like... It's okay. I'm sorry, my cat's trying to like.
You wouldn't sever a rat's foot and put it in your minestrone soup for $25,000.
$25,000. You couldn't get me to be touching some rat's foot. Like, literally disgusting. But like, you're paying lawyers' fees. It's going to cost you more than that going up against Olive Garden. They're a huge ass company. But like, did you not learn anything? Like, you're supposed to go emotional trauma. You're never going to be the same person. Go and talk to your lawyer about all the legal terms of like how you're going to play this, because like you're emotionally distressed. Like, make sure to really hone in on that and use it for millions, not freaking $25,000, dude. Like, what a waste of everyone's time, mostly yours.
But that's one of the stories that's going to be in for a day, and then it's gone, and he's forgotten about, and he doesn't win the money. And that's it. Another interesting thing I've been thinking.
We'll close that one real fast.
I'm just like, it's honestly like
it's whatever. I'm over this story, and next.
I'm saying like it's okay. It's crazy if it's true, but like, okay,
it is a true story. It's the Manor Brother.
It doesn't have any real.
It there, or somehow in Olive Garden it got in there, which is like.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hold any real substance for me, but I mean. For a story that I have been thinking about, which I'll tell you why I'm bothered, is obviously there's that attempted stabbing recently in the old city in Jerusalem. The woman tried to stab that soldier, and the video went viral.
My friend literally just showed me the video a couple of hours ago. First of all, lady, if you're going to try and stab someone, don't go for the security guard with the freaking bulletproof, stab-proof vest on and the freaking gun in public. Like, out of all the people, like, pick on your own size. It's like, mom's dog, like, Bernie Mahy, rest in peace. Like, used to always pick with the, like, pick on the huge ass dog, start barking them. It's like, dude, do you want to get yourself killed? And literally, she tries stabbing him. Right. Nothing happens. Wearing stabber vest, knocks her down, and then it, like, kicks her face like a soccer ball.
Right.
Like, bitch, karma's a bitch.
You gotta neutralize the threat. That kick was definitely neutralizing any present.
Oh my god,
threats.
It was literally like finish him, like Mortal Kombat.
That was
like literally kick of death.
Like he was playing soccer before he decided to join the security.
Literally,
forces.
like I feel like he needed a slow mo, like play by play. But like and then people are gonna be like, oh my god, that's horrible. You guys are talking about it. She was beaten. It's like, bitch. She literally tried stabbing the guy, and she didn't succeed, and that's literally classic self-defense. So, bye, go home.
But also, some news, I believe that certain news sources, obviously more fringe ones, nothing super mainstream, had like been showing only like the part of the video where she's getting beaten up. So it's like easy bait.
Maybe they're
propaganda.
showing the highlight reels,
right? No, it's like easy.
Totally. What's the headlines? Like, Israeli security officer beats defenseless Muslim woman who was just going to get milk. Like, I literally can with the media. What a disaster. All of them.
Well, Press TV. I don't know what this is, but
Press TV.
Israeli forces beat and arrest Palestinian woman over alleged stabbing attempt.
Alleged. They didn't allegedly beat her. They beat her, but it was an alleged
stabbing attempt. Yeah,
just
Palestinian woman. This is Fox News. Palestinian woman knocked to ground after trying to stab Israeli police officer in Jerusalem. It's a weird way to like frame the title of that thing.
Well, it's Fox News, At least they're not
Fox News is usually more right wing.
They are very right wing. They're probably going to fire someone.
That's Donald Trump's. That's Donald Trump's aquarium.
Not anymore. News. He has he has issues with them.
He has
issues with everybody. Right?
Speak the truth with me here on Truth Social.
Is there anybody on Truth Social besides like him and Kellyanne Conway or something?
He has a big following. He has.
I know, but like on Truth Social, I don't think I've ever seen it on the App Store or anything.
Someone posted something in our family chat yesterday from Threads. I think that was you.
Probably.
Who uses Threads?
First of all, in my defense, I am a social media
manager
for a high-tech company.
Yeah.
No, okay. But the thing with...
and I gotta manage all the social media for their tech on all the platforms.
So let me give an explanation. I'm not convinced about it yet, but Twitter has been in a steady... Sorry, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm not there yet. It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
That in itself is a disaster. It's been in a steady decline since the beginning of this year. And everything's down, and their subscription, which is not even Twitter Blue anymore, it's called Premium. It's a ripoff now. Forget the $8.99 a month. It's literally $1,000 a month if you're a business and you want the verification and you want your post
$1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month. And I literally was looking at it today, and I'm like, and there's not even like anything. It's like your organic posts are showed 2 times more, even though it's for sure way more than that because they are shutting down everyone's posts if you're not subscribed. You could possibly maybe get a piece of ad share revenue, which I don't understand that. You get the verification mark and like some other like they have a beta thing where you could start posting for jobs. And like literally nothing that makes sense, especially for $1,000 a month. And everyone's having issues with that. You're also able to do tweets that are longer than 280 characters. Yay. So Threads is like, it's a new thing. But the thing is they literally last week got a desktop version of it. They didn't have it on, they only had a mobile phone. I'm not going to be working on my computer all day.
Can any of these prices have anything to do with like cloud costs being very expensive for them to post,
you want to pull up the article that I literally posted from a couple months ago about Elon refusing to pay his cloud bills? literally refusing to pay him. His cloud bills are a freaking fortune.
I feel like, can they charge him? Oh yeah, it's refusing to pay its Google Cloud bills.
Man, he's only a billionaire. Like the richest guy on earth or whatever.
I wonder, are theirs higher than everyone else's? You know, I wonder.
Are they higher?
What?
Meaning
are there cloud costs?
Oh, yeah, it's a huge thing. I'm saying that's how the cloud works. Is the more data you need, the more storage you need. Like I could really
meaning Facebook is bigger than Twitter. No.
Yeah, their cloud bills are for sure freaking fortune.
So you're saying Facebook is obviously a lot more than Twitter.
You don't even understand, like, because some of our clients that we have are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on their cloud bills, and they're nowhere near a size like that. So,
and that's just to use the cloud to host all your servers and such.
It's what you're doing. That's why, like, what we do is like cost optimization. I'm not going to go into all business spiel like I'm trying to sell their product because I'm not on the clock, bitches. No, but basically it's like, you know, if you have applications that you have to deploy and stuff like that, you need a certain amount of storage. So, like, you know, we mostly work with AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. And basically they have like things where you could pay on demand. You know how like we used to have like those Virgin Mobile cell phones and you pay like, you know, pay as you go. But,
yeah,
you know, pay as you go, when you're a kid and stuff, you don't really have money and you can pay as you go. Sure, it's great. But in the, you know, grand scheme of things, it costs a lot more money using a pay as you go versus actually having a plan, unless you're like barely using it, not talking, not texting. It costs a lot more. So you could do that with the cloud where you're paying on demand, which is really expensive, or you could get a savings plan where you have to do a 1 or 3 year commitment, and then if you don't want them, you're stuck with paying for them. So but basically it's however much storage you need. So like sometimes like a lot of companies, they over provision, which means they buy more resources because they can't risk their application going bust. You know, like sometimes during like Black Friday or something, like a website will crash because they don't have enough of the resources that they need in order to keep it running, in order to handle all the traffic and have all the data flowing consistently. So basically you need to over provision, which means you're buying an overabundance of cloud resources in order to handle the traffic, but then you're also paying for a lot more. So what we do is we have an ML algorithm, buys and sells them automatically in the RIs and stuff. It's a whole spiel, but like they save you know, up to 60% of the cloud costs. You're welcome, Zesty.
What a TED talk.
No, that was like so like people are gonna hear that who are like developers and be like, yeah, it did not explain that well. That was like such a low rundown because it's really like it's a lot.
It is interesting to think about all like the I don't even know how to say it. All like the nitty-gritty details that go into everything that we utilize on a daily basis that we don't realize, like not all these servers and
like. So I've been
going to a lot of and data centers.
I've been going to like a lot of events recently in order to like, you know, because I am social media manager for this company. I have to understand what I'm talking about. You can't really bullshit when you're the voice of a company that's in this field. So I've been going to like events. I also take pictures and stuff. But I'm like listening, like half the time, like it is so crazy what goes into everything. It's like mind-boggling. Like
are these conferences in Hebrew?
The one I went to like 2 days ago, it was. So like half the time I'm like, but then there was one guy who was visiting from like Italy or something, I think. So he spoke in English. I was like, okay, because a lot of the stuff. But then they said something about like hybrida, and I was like, oh my god, it's hybrid. But it's like a more slang way of saying it in Hebrew. But I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. I picked up on that word. Yeah. But I also recently like did a video for our R&D team, and it was all in Hebrew, so I had to edit that. So at least it helped me with that. It was like Duolingo in one, you know.
I've been I'm on a solid Duolingo streak. I think I'm like 60 days today.
Really? And how would you say that in French?
Don't know. I am doing French. I did the first thing I tried learning on Duolingo was not French. It was
Polish.
No, I think it was Yiddish when they added it, which I thought was pretty cool that they added Yiddish. Yeah, you can learn Yiddish on Duolingo. But then I wanted to do French. There's also more people in my immediate life that speak French.
Yeah, my mother-in-law
speaks French. Shout out, Mom. Israel speaks French. Your coworker speaks French?
Well, she's French. She doesn't speak it. She is really French.
Okay,
sometimes she talks to me, she says something to me, and I'm like, Was that French? And she's like, no.
Right.
And I'm like, are you sure though? Because I'm pretty sure that wasn't English. Shut up, Paloma. I love her. She's hysterical. I mean, she loves Mean Girls also, but like she watches it in French. So like I was watching a whole scene with her in French. I'm like, this is literally hysterical. It doesn't have the same impact, but it's hysterical.
It's hard. You really have to like. It's nice learning like words, but like Duolingo teaches you. It gives you sentences that you're literally never going to say, and you really need to just get like a basic foundation, and then like probably watch a lot of things in French. Try to speak to people as much as you can in French. Learn, see how it's spoken conversationally, not in an app that goes like, there are two chairs in the garden.
It must be the wine, but like as you're talking and you're talking about like immersing yourself in French culture, all I'm thinking about is like eat a lot of French toast, eat some French fries.
Like the sentences are crazy. Like there are two chairs in the garden.
Totally disregarded that. I'm dead.
What?
I said I love that you totally were just like.
Because you've been just giggling away for the last 25 seconds. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's better that way, probably.
But the sentences are very funny. They never really make any sense. The stories are also hilarious. They just gamify it to make it fun, like with the leagues and leaderboard and the streaks and the.
Even in ways it's like that. I'm like, bitch, I'm just trying to get somewhere. Like, why am I competitive with sending reports and everything?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I mean, now I barely drive my car, so I'm not like a top person anymore. But I used to be like one of the top people. I'm talking about this like it means something. I'm one of those people. Oh, geez.
You should pull up. Pull up as one of the elites, one of the executives. Right, with the smart car with the eyelashes on the headlights.
Speaking of cars, did you see the Toyota Century SUV that's coming out? It's like how like the Toyota Century itself is like a Rolls Royce, but Toyota in like Japan. So this is like the Rolls Royce Cullinan.
Oh my gosh!
But like Toyota, it's like
looks a lot like a Bentayga in the back to me, also.
Totally. By the way, totally. Like the
doors open like a minivan.
You have options.
How you want the doors to open?
Yep. Suicide doors, regular style doors, sliding doors. Like literally, you customize everything. Half the price of a Rolls Royce Cullinan. They're anticipating like 180,000 pounds. I heard. I don't know what that is in dollars or whatever.
It's going to be nearly 170,000.
Yeah, but they're only making 30 a month, which is really ridiculous, and it's only gonna be Japan. Like, what the hell, Toyota?
Yeah, I would rather at that point just get a Bentayga. It's literally $20,000 more, $30,000 more.
For a base.
I'd rather a base Bentayga than a fully loaded Toyota Century.
You might want to see the fully loaded interior of that Century and then have an opinion. We were saying this about Genesis when it first came out. Like, who the hell is going to buy that?
How much power is it going to have? How much power can this car possibly have?
Okay, so it's not going to do that. So, like, that's the thing is, it's
what is
not
it, a hybrid?
No, but I mean, it's going to be a hybrid, and I think they're also doing electric, or maybe it's just a hybrid. But the point is, it's a chauffeured car. You're not looking to slam the gas and fly. Even the Rolls Royce that's coming out, the electric one, which for some reason, the name is in my mind right now. It's going to drive me freaking insane. That they say, even when you hit it, like it's a nice. Thank you, the Spectre with the TRE, and it's like that. It's because it's
gorgeous car.
Rolls Royce. I know, but Rolls Royce never even says horsepower for the cars because that's not what it's about. It's just about being like, bitch, I have money, and
the main thing is. And Rolls Royce is like really the pinnacle of luxury. You don't hear anything. The amount of noise dampening.
Oh my God! I know. I just want to like step out of one and be like, "Oh, take the umbrella," and be like, "Sir, here's your umbrella." I'll be like, "Don't call me sir. Where's my martini?"
A friend of mine was just staying at a hotel in Vegas, and when he was going to the airport, the hotel sent him there in Rolls Royce. And he sent me like
when I went to a hotel in France, they had Tesla Model X's, which at the time when I went like 4 or 5 years ago,
it was pretty cool. Cool. Saw one in by the supermarket recently in the parking lot.
I've been seeing a lot of them in Israel. I think they just arrived to the X's because I know we started with the 3, then the Y, and now the X is here.
I've been seeing a lot of Genesis GV70s, GV80s.
They're everywhere. I see a lot of GV70s here in Israel, but the electric one I don't see a lot of.
In Israel.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people who have it, but it's like it's still not.
They don't even offer all electric here yet, do they?
Of course they do.
Recently, I'm still only seeing the
because a lot of people got it before it came out.
Yeah, I don't know, but the Rolls-Royce Spectre is going to be insanely fast. It's going to be.
But that's not what it's about. Like
it's not what it's about. But that's always been a staple of Rolls. It's not like on top of all those things. It's also 0 to 60 in like 5 seconds.
But it's not right. 5 seconds. It's not like jerk back in your seat. You like crack your neck. They still the magic carpet ride.
5 seconds is fast. That's faster than any person in their normal daily driver will ever get to experience.
You might want to see me in my Mazda 2. I'm flooring it. Seconds at 16. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably like 13 seconds.
People will never get to experience that sort of speed. They will never get to experience that sort of 0 to 60 in anything less than 4 seconds, you know?
And well, like the what's it called? Oh my God, why can't I think of the name right now? What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, the Tesla. Sorry, my mind's like ridiculous. The Model S, the Plaid. It's like, you know, if you put in all the modes and like blah 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 blah, 1.8 seconds, 1.9 seconds, like it's like incomprehensible. Like I feel like
it's not even the fastest anymore.
I know, and that's psychotic. Like if anyone is in your pathway, like they don't stand a chance. It's like they're gone.
They're getting smacked, yeah.
And then you have to replace your windshield.
Your hood, your windshield. Well, I mean, carbon
fiber
is pretty strong.
They're probably dead. Yeah, but the car is not made out of carbon fiber.
It is, yeah.
The entire car is not.
On a lot of these cars, the entire shell of the car.
I'm talking about. Oh, I thought we were just talking about the Model S. Oh no, for sure. Like the really high end ones, 100%. That's why you should build submarines with carbon fiber because cars have them.
Just incredible what they're coming out with, like the Rimac or Rimats. If you're Croatian, Navera is going to be probably. I think it's 0 to 60 in 1.7 seconds. These cars are just. That's why I sent you that guy, Stephen Hamilton of the Hamilton collection. Shout out if you want to come on down. Has a crazy collection, but like he shares it with people. You know, he's very like, you want to sit in the car. He said when he was with his wife when they were dating when he was in high school or something, she asked if she could sit in this Corvette, which he's like, I don't even like, and the guy was like, no, like he just said no. He's like, I decided then if I ever had a nice car, I would let anyone sit in it, kids, whoever wants to come. And he's like, I probably had 50 people drive my Bugatti Chiron. It's amazing to me that he still gets insurance.
Forget that. How much are you paying in insurance when you have so many cars? Like
he went through it. It's not the most expensive one on the list at the time. I think he went through it was his Rolls Royce Phantom 1-Up. Someone crashed his car, one of the cars. I think it was a Koenigsegg. Or McLaren. Anyways, so
if I had any cars like that,
the Rolls Royce went up from like $180 to like $600 a month, but the other supercars were like a couple $100 a month a piece.
I feel like I'm paying a couple $100 a month.
And they're in Illinois.
The general insurance?
No, he has a great insurance company he works with. He's in Illinois, but anyways, he has a crazy collection of all these insane hypercars and just like, you know, pushing the limits of what's cars that can, you know, hit the high 200 miles an hour. People never experience hitting a high 100 140 150 miles an hour.
But I'm sure a lot of those people are very much so okay with that. Not everyone wants that kind of thrill, and it's, you know, like it's crazy. No, I totally would also. No, I'm saying, but like I feel like there's a lot of people who would be like, you know.
I don't know. I feel like you say that until like. I feel like you say that until like you just experience it, and then it's like, oh my! Like you've never experienced power like that affecting you so directly. I think that's what it is. You know, a force acting on your body, like you feel it. You know, and we've been in cars that are nice, but not supercars, and you hit the, you know, you floor the pedal, and you just even in the Genesis and the hybrid. But or in the Tesla, in the cheaper Teslas. You floor that thing, you're gonna go and you're gonna get thrown back into your seat.
Literally. And who's driving like that? Dad.
Now imagine accelerating to nearly 300 miles an hour.
Well, sometimes you're in a rush to get to work,
In Germany, at like Volkswagen's headquarters, where they test their Bugattis, just
where they test the Bugattis and fixing the test for their diesel vehicles.
I think they were trying to sell. I heard Bugatti was actually trying to be sold recently because I don't think they make money on the company, which makes sense. It's more
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
just for fun. I mean, it's got to cost a ridiculous amount of money to produce, but they're so timeless. Ridiculous. Even the Veyron, when did it come out of the early 2000s? And it still. I remember you showing
incredible. Me it in your room on your white MacBook. Like, oh my god, you got to check this car. Watching like YouTube videos in like 360p. I think it might have upgraded to 480 at that point.
It came out in 2005. And not only does it still hold its value incredibly well, it's still worth like $1.8 million, even if you want to get one from like the early 2000s, 2008. It's
like an Hermes bag, and that's the thing. It's exclusivity is what's
but they intentionally also didn't put any. There's no infotainment system.
I also watched that Doug DeMuro episode. Shout out Doug DeMuro.
Is it Doug DeMuro?
I think so, where he talks about how they didn't put it in there because of the fact that it's supposed to be like timeless.
They wanted it to be timeless. I mean, yeah.
Which makes sense. But also, like, you could also always swap out an entertainment system. I definitely would want a screen in my car. Especially if I'm paying that much money. I better have like a fucking like 42-inch screen in front of me.
I did discover a really cool website, though, called the Exclusive Car Registry, where they basically try to document all the supercars, hypercars, collectible cars in the world. They have all the various collections from tons of different people and all the cars that they have photographed. What?
They list people's personal info like that?
No, they have all their info on their collection, all the cars that they have. Where all the photos where they take. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, are they just like putting?
I mean, a lot of these guys are very public. Like, they don't necessarily show their faces unless they're like influencers, like the Hamilton.
I mean, honestly, I usually keep my Bugatti in the garage because I just don't want to go out with it because I'm just gonna get the stairs,
Yeah, or like sure Manny Koshman, that guy, he's on there. He has a ridiculous car collection. Guys who are just whatever, who are on there.
But like certain cars, like any of the supercars, like if I wasn't going on a track, I'd be petrified to be driving on the. I mean, here in Israel, nowhere in hell would I ever, because like the streets are crazy. But like, you literally have no ground clearance. One tiny pothole, forget a bad one. One tiny pothole, it's like. God knows how much that damage is going to cost.
Right.
Nothing on it is cheap. So it's like, and even the ones like, they have like a button you press so it lifts up a little bit so you could actually go up a driveway because, right. That's a difficult thing to do. Like, the fact that it needs to go up just to go over a driveway and like that's in its maximum setting. It's like, I'd be petrified.
It's funny because I just saw a video from the Hamilton collection where he was going, I think it was at David Dobrik's house. He was pulling up into the driveway and you hear that bone shivering like screech of the carbon fiber shattering under the car.
Like, he's like, I know that.
It's like a $20,000 bill.
Right. He's like, ooh, I'd be in tears. In tears.
I mean, if you have money to buy a $3 million car, you could afford to do the $50,000 tire change you got to do.
But forget that though. Like, yes, but like the inconvenience of it, even if you can afford it, it's just like it sucks having your stuff like ruined.
I mean, yes, even an oil change is $20,000. Well, think about if you're driving it off and
what is it for regular cars? Like $25?
No, it's like $80. I mean, I use synthetic oil, but the guy also comes to me. It's $80.
He comes to you?
Yeah, but it's $80 almost anywhere you go. Maybe 70 in some places.
Really?
Or 60 if you live in small towns, but in like the busier towns.
I remember as a kid it was like $20.
Maybe.
Mercedes always charge a lot because they, redo their way they like it's all set up.
On average, on average, a synthetic oil change can cost between $65 and $125.
Well, so what's regular oil change? Like, what about a regular one? Maybe that's what it is. The regular oil is cheaper.
Around $45.
Oh wow, they got expensive.
So it's gone up.
Oh, COVID.
COVID,
Just look that for
inflation.
everything.
You know that video of Joe Biden explaining inflation? He's like, inflation is when you go home, it's not enough. There's no food in the fridge. You don't got enough. You can't. And what is it? What is it all about? What are we doing? And it's just the most. You're just you
Is
feel
that
bad.
as iconic? Is that as iconic as Kamala Harris talking about AI? It's 2 words.
Oh yeah,
Artificial
yeah.
intelligence.
What is it? What is it really?
What is it really?
It's 2 words.
Artificial intelligence.
Right?
My favorite is that other video, and I consider myself like a conservative liberal, but like it is what it is. He's kind of a old man. Like I like him, but he's like an old man. I don't think he's still alive. We can at Bernie's. And she's just like, huh? Like that big line she said. She had this big line that she would go around saying everywhere. Like she just came up with like like when you're a kid in like middle school and you have like these quotes from presidents and stuff like on your walls from like John F. Kennedy and like Harry, whatever. It's like she thinks she has this line and it's like literally makes no sense. It makes no sense.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
And I'm like, I literally have tried going over it so many times in my head and like trying to figure out like if there's some deeper thing. I can't figure shit out. I literally don't know what it means. And she says it so many times.
Yeah, to see what
like,
could be unburdened.
It's like when like Justin Bieber like tried making like swaggy a word and would just like say that, trying to make it like in a thing.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. It just she says it so much as if it's like a.
What does it mean?
It means that the events of the past lessen the burden of achieving what could be achieved in the future.
Oh, thank you, Kamala Harris. Is that what it means?
No, it is what it means. It sounds ridiculous when you say it all the time. And the way that she says it, like
sounds ridiculous.
Like it's an earth-shattering revelation.
2
of
words.
The underpinnings of 2 words. Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Okay.
And what we have to make sure is what is going into the machine. Okay.
Because it learns. That's how it works.
Because it's machine learning, right? That's what it is. It's a machine that we feed 3 times a day like any human.
I couldn't. I think she got the script like 5 minutes before she went on and never used a computer in her life.
It's literally like sending your parent to do your school presentation about what artificial intelligence is.
It's like when Dad calls me to help him figure out how to turn on the DVD player. A, why are you using a DVD player? B, seriously?
Why are you using a DVD player? No way he's using a DVD player. What DVD player does he even have access? Does he even have access to?
The one in the den and the one downstairs.
Crazy, because how do they measure? Speaking of DVDs, I know this is random, but it's because of DVDs. How do they measure like album sales anymore? Is it like downloads on music platforms?
It's very hard. They have to do like a whole formula where it's like streaming and also taking into consideration the single downloads. But most people are streaming, so it's really seeing how many streams, and that's why a lot of the records now are revolved around the most streamed thing or whatever, because it has been very difficult. And now I was just talking to a coworker about this today. Literally just talking about it because someone got a record player. Like our work gave us like gifts for Rosh Hashanah. I got a Nintendo Switch. I'm very excited. So she got a record player, and then he was this guy Shachar. He was saying how he was telling his daughter because she asked what it was, and he's like trying to explain to her what an album is. I'm like, she didn't know what like a vinyl record was. She's like, no, like an album. Like, didn't know. She's like, what did you do when you were a kid? You didn't have Spotify? I'm like, oh my god, he's literally in his 40s. He did not have Spotify as a child. And it's like, there's something different that when you buy a album or a CD and like you have something physical versus a digital download.
For sure.
Different. And even with the streaming,
can you still buy music on? Can you still buy songs on iTunes? Remember that was a thing.
Yeah. I used to buy so much. Yeah.
I don't know if people do. It was like 99 cents for a song. It was crazy.
And then it went up to $1.29. It was like, oh geez. But we were all spending like 14, 15, 16 bucks on CDs anyways, and you were buying the full album. You didn't even want all those songs, so it really wasn't so crazy.
I almost never bought anything because mom or dad would bug out. But then I learned how to torrent things. I don't want to.
So I
incriminate
use that
myself.
to my advantage. So that's how I convinced mom to, like, when she would get upset that I would use it, I was like, well, I have friends who are illegally downloading it, and like that's like really bad. You're stealing, right? So you wouldn't want me to steal. Bam.
And that
Works
worked.
like a charm. Yeah, it did. Shout out. But it's actually a good thing.
Shout out
No.
to myself for scamming my mother.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, shout out to Joe
This guy's over here
for being a
losing
good
it.
person. But shout out to me too. You're really good at manipulating Sheldon. Great for you.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious. So when are you gonna come back to Israel?
Hopefully we'll come back soon. The flight is a little bit hard. Surprisingly enough, the flight back, the longer flight back, that's like 11 hours, was actually a lot easier than the flight there.
Really?
First of all, because we got pushed through check-in and security because of my wife's. She couldn't really walk because of Achilles tendonitis, so we got a wheelchair. She had a boot, and we just got zoomed past. But the actual flight was pretty good. The kids slept. My son threw up right when we landed, which was okay. We were able to change him. There was a woman really right next to him. This older.
I hope you didn't throw up on her.
Woman. This older Muslim woman, no, but she was super helpful. She was very sweet.
Oh wow!
Like, my son, I woke up at one point and his legs were like on her lap, so I was like going to move him off, and she was like, "No, it's okay, leave him." I was like, "Okay, in that case," and then I spread out and clonked out.
Right, seriously. In that case, you want to watch him? I gotta pass out for a few hours. Enjoy.
Well, it's funny because when we flew back, when we had twins first, and then we flew back from Israel to America, this birthright group was on the flight back with us to New York, and one of the girls was sitting at the row right next to us, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm a pediatric nurse. If you need any help, with the babies at any point, just let me know. I'm glad to help." And then she was just out for 11 hours. So, thanks for the help.
Yeah, well, you're a good husband. I would have. Bam! Wake up.
It wasn't. No, but it was a good flight. It was easier. We slept. Customs also went pretty quick. Had our bags pretty quick. You don't get your.
I'm always pulled from customs.
You don't get your stroller though. I think this is how it is either way. You don't get it when you get off the plane. You get it. I think. Oh no! You know what? No, we did get our strollers in Israel. I think you get it at baggage claim. Or maybe not.
But no, what do you do with the kid? Yeah,
I think it just depends. You usually get it at the air gate. When we flew back with the twins, they were 7 weeks old. Our newborn twins, they're premature. We had to get our stroller at baggage claim. So we had my wife carrying both kids in each arm. I was carrying like 6 carry-ons. My mother-in-law had like six carry-ons. We were like all dying. I go straight to the handicap line.
The moral of the story is you guys pack a lot of stuff and you have too many carry-ons.
I go straight to the handicap line at customs. The guy was like, "Sir," and I was like, "Bro, my wife's holding 2 babies. I got 1 million bags. She just had kids. Let me through." And he was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
and we were able to get through because we didn't have a stroller. We didn't have anything. No, but I had to carry not only the bags, but I had to carry the car seats that they were in. We had to get them like these car seats to sit in on the plane or whatever. So I'm lugging these around.
They have car seats for the airplanes?
No, they have. Well, you could put like a car seat on. They do have them. You could put a car seat on an airplane. We did that last year when we came to Israel in the summer, but it's not really unless you have like a very small baby.
Oh, but what about like those car seats that are like car seat stroller?
Yeah,
things?
like a Duna.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put that on a plane.
Mm.
You could buckle it in. It's also not so good for your child to be stuck in that position for so long. You know what I'm saying? To be like, or sitting straight, especially in a car seat, straight up. Depends how small they are. I feel like.
Well, that's how you are on the airplane seats, unless you're allowed to like put it down a little bit.
On the way back, we sat right next to the bulkhead seats, which is great. The couple there had a baby. They were able to put him in the bassinet on the wall, and then they could sleep or whatever it is. It's interesting now. They don't have a first class anymore. They have this business class, then they have premium economy, which looks like what business class was, and business class is like what first class used to be, and then they have economy plus, which is just or economy plus or economy comfort, which is just 6 inches more legroom,
which is like
the rest of
regular
the plane.
Right now, it's not.
But it was noticeable on the way back. We
it's
get
different.
Economy comfort.
I can't do the regular one, and I die. So I can't imagine for tall people. I'm just like, it's torture. It's really disgusting that they do this.
It's crazy how expensive it is to fly, like business or economy comfort or premium economy. But I
A
feel
lot
like
of
if I
the
was
people
able
are
to,
people who frequently fly and have points or
right? There's
miles and
points. There's
stuff.
ways to. There's a lot of people who finagle the system. They're
I
very
was
good
just
at
thinking of that word
finagling the
for dingle.
system.
I know, but it is a world's difference. I flew first class once to Israel, probably my first and last time. Different world.
It was
My
first
favorite
class when they
part.
still had first.
Yeah, I was 1B. And
Was there an upstairs? I remember when they used to have those planes.
well, yeah, no, but the one I was on, it wasn't an upstairs. But my favorite part of the entire thing, even though obviously a lot of it was really good, it was the fact that you get your food when you want it, and then when you're finished with your food, they take it away when you want it. Because the worst
That's
is
the
when you literally
worst
have 8 inches of
thing
leg space. You're literally
ever.
like this, and then you have your thing down, and then the food's in front of you, and then you're just sitting there
And trying to
and
keep
they're
all the
like,
trash
and they
piled
have
on top.
exactly, and then they're going around slowly. Oh, can I take that from you? Oh, can I take that from you? And then right when they're about to get to you, you're so excited, and they're like, "Oh, it's full. We'll be right back." Oh, sure. I'm just
Honestly, think
dying
about
over
them. They
here.
have to take everyone's trays, no matter how they pile them up, and manage to get them all stacked up and put away.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't want this shit sitting in front of me. I don't care. Shout out to all the
But
flight attendants, though.
yes, but
I don't know how they do it. It's a lot.
hopefully
I'd
we'll be
kill,
returning.
like,
Yeah, it's
someone.
I don't know how they do it, but
I
listen, it's
literally,
their
I
job.
cannot tolerate Karens on a plane. I literally be like, "You're done. Like you're going down the slide midair. We're not even landing for you. Like goodbye into the abyss you go."
It's not even possible to open the door midair when you're that high up.
Well, tell it to the guy who did it at like when they were like, I don't know, 10, 15,000 feet in the air right before they were like,
weren't. They were like 150 to 200 feet up in the air.
And then you see the way the wind was blowing. How stupid
The
could you
people are by the
be?
doors. People sitting in the emergency exit row are holding on for dear life.
Like, what in this guy's mind made him think that any of that was normal? Like, it's a
you
child.
could ask that about anything. Either he let his intrusive thoughts win, or he doesn't, or he has a mental illness of some
I'm
sort.
ADD. I get it, but you still don't do that. Oh my god, I'm in tears. It's too funny. The video when they're all on the side like that. It's freaky as hell, but it's funny and conscious because they all survived. Thank God. Oh my god, freaky as hell. I hope that guy never flies again. Imagine if you see him on your flight. Or that woman who saw that person is not real.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this whole place is going down. And then people were like, "It's the lizard people." This is evidence. It's like,
Oh my
this
goodness!
world is doomed. Like we are really
It's
doomed,
the
you
lizard
guys.
people.
Like
Mark,
this is evidence.
Mark Lizardberg.
Evidence. A woman is literally losing her shit in a plane, and it's evidence of lizard. Oh jeez! Like what is? It used to be, oh my god, this is a crazy person. Now it's like, oh my
Right.
god, you guys.
What are the? Well, you're right. What's more?
Something we don't.
They're you're right. Either aliens, right?
Oh my god.
Right.
And
I mean,
the guy, oh my god, my
losing
favorite
your
is though,
your mind in a pressurized tube, 20,000 feet in the air.
and I'm doing that every time I'm in it. I have anxiety from it, but I'm freaking out like that. But my favorite part is when she's yelling, "Is that person's not real?" And the camera and everyone else. It's like, what?
To go see.
It's iconic. Literally, it is iconic.
Really, this is like a guy in a hood standing there, and then like he quickly hides or something.
Right. And then people were like, that moment when the guy next to you blinks vertically or horizontally.
No, vertically. Blinks vertically. Horizontally is how we blink.
No. Yeah.
Vertically.
Right, yeah.
The horizon.
I was dead. Right. Horizon Wireless. Yeah, literally dead.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Good times. This world's doomed,
Good times.
you guys.
But
so
on that note, we do got to wrap it up. I do hope to be back in Israel soon at some point. So hopefully now that we're back, we'll get back in our schedules. My kids are back in school. So hopefully we'll be able to get back into the flow of things.
Yeah.
And catch everyone next week.
Yeah, like and subscribe and all that jazz or whatever. We'll
like, subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll catch you guys soon.
Bye.